Hey Cardinal fans, welcome back to the Uiw Coaches Show. I'm your host, Karla Bello. The UIW baseball team continued its success with a 3-game sweep of Arkansas Pine Bluff, as well as a victory over UT Rio Grande Valley last week. The Cardinals beat UT RGV by the score of 6-4 before topping UAPB by the scores of 12-1, 15-11, and 9-3. The Cardinals are currently in a 3-way tie for 3rd place in the Southland Conference standings with Central Arkansas and Stephen F. Huston. Softball dropped 3 games to Sam Houston State as 7 seniors played in their last home game over the weekend. During Friday's doubleheader, the Cardinals honor Gold Star families with each player wearing a jersey with the name of a fallen soldier on the back. Men's golf finished 7th in the Southland Conference Championships in McKinney, Texas last week, with women's golf finishing 8th. Men's tennis team failed to host Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the Southland Tennis Tournament on Friday. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we will catch up with our UIW coaches.
Want to impress your friends at the next UIW tailgating party? Here at NCR, we have plenty of makes and models for every personality, even yours, Red. Do you see anything here that catches your eye? This isn't the type of tailgating I had in mind, Red.
Hey Cardinal fans, we have the baseball head coach Patrick Hallmark. Coach, thank you so much for being here.
Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. Coach, in Game 1 versus Arkansas Pine Bluff, what a glorious 12-1 victory. What was working for your team during this game, and how was your team able to carry the energy into the last 2 games?
Well, we swung the bats good all weekend, so that was probably the best part about the weekend, including that game, is we were really hot with the bat. I thought Saturday we played bad defense, but other than that, we played well all the way around. We pitched pretty well. It was a good weekend to hit with the wind blowing out, and our field generally favors the hitter. So we swung the bats well, and other than a few defensive mistakes on Saturday, we had a good weekend.
Yes, Coach, for sure. And your team is ranked 3rd in conference. What is it going to take to make sure we finish strong?
I think defense. Yeah. When we play good defense, we're in every game, or we either win the game or we're right there at the end, and then it can go either way, but that's what you want. You want to be in every game. So when we play good defense, we're pretty tough. Our pitchers tend to throw strikes, which we're proud of them for that, and our hitters mostly do a good job. Hitting is tough, so you're not going to be perfect every day with the bat, but we mostly do a good job hitting, and pitching we throw strikes. So again, I think every time I visit with you, defense comes up. So that's the key. That's been the key all year, and we just got to keep plugging away there.
Yes, Coach, for sure. Coach, it seems like you have gained a great understanding for your pitchers' rotation. What has enabled you to make the right switches with your pitchers?
I don't know if I do it every time. There's a lot of preparation between Coach Shepard and I. We watch a lot of video of the other teams. Sometimes that video is hard to get, but we dig and dig, because that's a big part of it is watching video of the other team. So it starts there, just putting in the preparation at this point in the week, leading up to Friday and Saturday. So once we watch video of the other team, we obviously know our guys pretty well and what they're good at and what they like to do. So we just try to match them up. And of course, guys like Taggart and Bernie have been pretty solid all year. So they're going to pitch. It's just figuring out the best spot for them to pitch. And again, I'm glad you think it's gone well, because it's not always easy. That's a challenge, but and you don't always get it right. But for the most part, we've done okay.
Yes, Coach. No, you guys have. And finally, Coach, you have a tough series of games against UCA this weekend. How are you approaching this 3-game series?
Like we mentioned, there's a lot of preparation goes into it. But the Central Arkansas series is big. I think we're tied with them. I think we have the same record, right there in 3rd place. So it's tight. It's coming down to the last 3 weeks of the season, which is fun. It's what it's all about. But mostly it gets to preparation, and then come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you just want to be competitive and have fun competing at the end of the day, whether you're the pitcher or the hitter. Just enjoy the process of competition, and at that point, see what happens.
Yes, Coach. Well, Coach, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on all your success this season so far, and for the rest, this final stretch.
Thank you. We got to keep it going.
Yes, Coach, for sure. Hey Cardinal fans, we have the softball head coach, Joe DiPietro. Hello Coach, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, Coach. Coach, your team had a busy week last week. Despite having 2 games canceled because of bad weather, what was the mentality of your team going into this final stretch?
Well, we're just trying to finish strong. You know, we've had a very difficult year. We've had pretty much everything that can happen to us kind of did. Plus, we haven't played well. And I think for the young kids especially, it's really important these last 6 games that we finish on a high note. So that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Your team stayed resilient through this series of games. What were the things your team learned, and what was the message to the team after the last home game on Saturday?
Well, we're not that far off. You know, Sam Houston, we played this weekend. Our first 2 games on Friday, we easily could have won both of their games, and they're in first place. So we're not that far off. We just need to be better focused, and we have to pay a little bit more attention to detail and execute better. And I think that's something that we'll try to accomplish over the next 6 games with the young kids.
Yes, Coach, for sure. This past Friday, your team had the military appreciation game. Each student athlete honored a fallen soldier by wearing a jersey with his or her name and military branch. Your team then celebrated Senior Day on Saturday. Talk about the emotions experienced this past weekend.
Well, Friday night was really awesome to be a part of. You know, it's something I wanted to do last year, but we couldn't get it off the ground. So this year we were able to get it off the ground with a lot of help throughout the campus, and Candy, who runs the Gold Star family, she's the one who got us in touch with all the people with their names and branches and those type of things. And the girls were really very, very supportive of what we were doing. They got a little emotional, a few of them. They actually wrote letters to the families of the fallen heroes. So, and that was their decision. I didn't tell them to do it. So they kind of did it on their own, which I thought was pretty cool. It was an awesome night, you know, to get to hear some of the stories about the people that passed from the families themselves. They thought it was a great night. We're going to try to do it every year. And then Senior Day, you know, you kind of celebrate the seniors. We have 7 as they move on to the next chapter of their lives, you know, and, you know, softball's a game and it's great and all that stuff. But now you know, I try to tell them now the real important stuff's going to happen. You know, your life's going to start to go, and you really need to be able to be focused. And I think being a D1 athlete will help them as they move forward.
What should we expect to see from your defense and offense against UT?
Well, that's going to be a tall task. I mean, you know, Texas is like 10th in the country. New coach who came from Oregon, who was number 1 in the country last year. And they're just better. So for us to go there on Wednesday and have a chance, we're going to have to compete like crazy, and we're going to have to play good, solid defense, and we're going to have to get a little bit lucky, to be honest with you.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for being here, and we're going to see you guys play against UT.
Oh, awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, Coach.
Each summer, student-athlete leaders from the Southland Conference's 13 schools get together for a retreat. Before we start another season of competition, there's time to have some fun and bond. We also share experiences of serving our campuses and communities. Together, Southland student-athletes completed more than 30,000 community service hours over the past year. We pull for each other and push to make each other better. Just part of what makes us Southland strong.
Hey Cardinal fans, we have the women's and men's cross-country track and field head coach, Dr. Derek Riedel. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me again, Karla. It's great to be back.
Thank you for being here again. Coach, your team finished the regular season with another excellent performance. What is your evaluation of the Texas State Classic meet?
It's a good meet for us. We didn't compete everybody. You know, we're at that meet, we're only 6 or 7 days out from the conference championship. So our main goal going into it was to work on a few key aspects of our execution. We were hoping to run some relays, but we didn't have the competition there, so we ended up only running the men's 4x4. And they ran well. It was their second best time of the season. So I thought it was a good day. Jerica Love got her 13:36 in the 100 hurdles, and that'll get her to the first round of the NCAAs. And Tiffany Mays ran 53:99 in the 400, which is a personal record for her, and that'll get her to the first round of the NCAAs. And then we had 4 or 5 other personal records, some real strong performances. So I think it accomplished what we hoped it would accomplish.
Yes, Coach, for sure. And Saray Alexander stands for the best long jump in the country, and she also holds the Southland Conference record. Talk about her time as a Cardinal.
Oh, it's been pretty magical. So she came in as a highly respected and highly touted recruit out of MacArthur High School here in San Antonio. But for us to say that she would go from a 19.2 or 19.4 long jumper to almost 22 feet in the long jump, I would be lying if I said that I knew she would do that. We knew that she would be really good because of her work ethic and her drive and her ambition. But I mean, even in our wildest dreams, we didn't think she'd be a 22-foot long jumper. Ranked number 8 in the world, number 1 in the NCAA, number 2 in the U.S. She deserves to have some opportunities after college, and I hope we can find a good sponsor with Adidas, hopefully, or Nike, or another shoe company that will see her value and will want her to represent them, because I feel like she'll be in Tokyo in 2020 in the Olympics representing the U.S.
Yes, Coach, I agree with that for sure. Coach, how is the team keeping their focus to maintain their record-setting ways heading into the conference championships?
Just continue to take it day at a time, day by day, coming out, taking advantage of good weather when we have it, executing the practice plan, working on the little things that we need to improve to be where we need to be at the conference championship. I feel like we're doing what we need to do, and they'll be ready to go here in a few days in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Finally, your team goes to the Southland Conference Outdoors Championship. What would you hope to see from your team this time around?
Bring home team trophies. Top 2 get a trophy. We were so close on the women's side, at 2 points or 3 points behind Northwestern State. It's going to be hard to beat them on their home track. They have that home track advantage, but bring home a trophy on the women's side, and on the men's side, show some marked improvement, be a top 3, top 4 team at a minimum on the men's side, and hopefully get a few more regional qualifiers, a few more NCAA first round qualifiers. Right now we have 8. Our goal all along has been 12 to 13 or 14, somewhere in that range. So we still have a few more people to go, and we have some that are very close to hitting their regional mark. And I would consider that a successful conference meet this week.
Yes, Coach, for sure. Well, Coach, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on all your success.
You're welcome. Thank you, Karla, for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, Cardinal fans, joining us today, we have the men's golf head coach, Remy Huston. Hello, Coach. Thank you for being here.
You bet. Happy to be here.
Coach, your team placed 7th at the Southland Conference Men's Golf Championship. Talk about the performance of your student athletes and the overall success of your team.
Yeah, so we had 3 seniors that were competing for their last tournament, and so they knew the golf course. They've been around it. They understood the test that it is, and I'm happy with the way they finished. Getting 7th is 3 spots higher than last year. We were only 10 shots out of the top half, and we were even closer than that with about 9 holes to go. So they gave themselves a good opportunity, and so getting in that top half is big for us. So that the next step is moving closer and then trying to take that conference title so we can make it to regionals. So I think with Trevor, our sophomore, and John, our junior, playing well and learning the golf course, I think that next year we can only learn from this and keep moving up the ranks. So.
Yes, Coach. You mentioned John Hill. John Hill was a key student athlete this season. Talk about the contribution he brought to the team.
Man, John Hill he was phenomenal this year, winning 3 times, March Conference Player of the Month, making a hole-in-one in an event. They're just unreal things, right? You never expect those to happen. So for him and what he did, I mean, he's very instrumental in us breaking those 4 school records. And I'm excited to see what he does moving forward. And I hope next year he can build on it. And as we get him into bigger and better events, he's competing against higher level players. And that's important for what I can do for my players. And I need to do the best I can to get them in a great field so that he's competing against the best players that are in the nation.
Yes, Coach, for sure. And who were some additional student athletes that made an impact this season?
Yeah, so Trevor Bailey, sophomore, went to every event. That's awesome. That was a big step up from, I think, what he expected of himself from last year. And man, he's played. I think he's had 6 under par rounds. I think another 3 around even par, depending on the par that year. And it's just for him to help build with John Hill and take what he's been doing and follow the leadership of these seniors. He came in and started playing as our second best player. And, that's awesome for me to have him coming back. And I really hope that, I can build those other 3 spots that we're losing from these seniors these seniors have been a big part of us growing this program with the conference moving up 3 spots and nationally moving up 33 spots this year. So these seniors went out on a good note, and so I'm excited for them. So.
Yes, Coach, for sure. And then finally, what is your overall summary of this season?
Man, it was awesome. Learning a lot about how I can tailor practices and situational practices towards tournament performances. So, just discussing with my players, hey, this drill, what'd you think about it? And, oh man, we didn't like doing this. Well, we don't always like doing certain drills, but having a happy medium of keeping them to keep enjoying the game, that's really important because I want them to go out there and have a blast every time because they're going to put a lot of pressure on themselves anyways. But if they know that I'm in it for them to play their best, but keep enjoying it because I think they've played their best golf when they've enjoyed it the most. And I'm pretty sure that they had a pretty good time this year. And if not, I mean, they did a heck of a lot for the school in records and national ranks. And so, they should be happy for themselves.
Yes, Coach. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And it's always so nice to have you.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Hey, Cardinal fans, we have the men's tennis head coach, Jonas Andersson. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, your team worked really hard and was resilient against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. What was the message to your team after the tournament was over?
Well, I think we came so close. I don't think everyone realized how close we actually came to winning, but we had doubles. So we won our number 2 doubles. Our number 1 doubles had 2 match points, and our number 3 doubles had 4 match points, and we ended up losing it. It was just 1 point away. If we would have won that one, we would have had 1 point, and it probably would have come down to Oliver, the freshman, in the last match, and he was on his way winning. So that's how close it came down to this season, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you guys were very resilient against Corpus Christi.
Yeah, we did good.
What is your overall analysis of this season?
I would say, we're happy going back-to-back conference tournaments, Southland Conference tournament, which, is a big achievement. I think the matches we ended up losing came down to a game or a few points. It was just so close, and it could have easily gone the other way where we would end up, winning everything. But unfortunately, it didn't happen this year.
Yes, Coach. And what has been the most memorable moment of this season?
I think it's more, for me in general, it's, you get close to all these players. I came in a year ago, and we kind of all grew as a family. And you're going to be sad to see some of them go because you build this personal relationship with them. And but I think we turned the program around and we started winning, and everybody had a great performance. So.
Yeah, great season too.
Yeah.
And what are you looking for in your student athletes for this upcoming season?
Well, so this season, we're going to have a few returning players. We have a few new ones coming in as well, and we just got to kind of teach them the ropes and how things work, and I think we're in a pretty good position right now, and I think it's going to keep going and get better.
Yes, Coach, for sure. Well, Coach, thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Stay up to date with UIW Athletics this week as baseball goes on the road to face Prairie View A&M on Tuesday before returning home for a 3-game series versus Central Arkansas from Friday through Sunday. Softball travels to Texas Southern and Texas before going on the road for a 3-game series at Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Friday and Saturday. And finally, track and field will compete in the Southland Conference Outdoor Championships from Friday through Sunday. For more news on all UIW sports, make sure to follow us on social media and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For UIW Athletics, I'm Karla Bello, and thank you so much for all the support you have given us all year.